Hello, hello, hello. This is going to be Salt Lake City Housewives Season 5, Episode 19. This is the last part of the reunion, number 3. Don't mind the little doo doo. I'm just wrapping my hair so it's a little wet before I go blow dry it. And I'm going to try to keep this one short because the last one I was literally going for line for line for line. That's what took so long. So I'm going to try not to do it on this episode, okay? Okay, so we got Brittany. She finally came out, which I mean, we probably could have had her on the whole time. Brittany, she just wants to be included at this point. I don't got no beef with her. She actually is kind of a little light something to the show that we kind of needed. That little goofy, ditzy person. Because Whitney was that, but Brittany takes the cake. So either way, she did show up with the same dress as Angie, but Angie wore better, so she won. Okay. There's no high body count hair this time. It looks nice, cute, cute. Dress was nice. Um, she said that her and Jared haven't broken up since June. He was actually supposed to be there, but he canceled his plane ticket last minute. So of course everybody's asking why, what's going on? This boy, he does the same thing to her, right? Which is love her, then don't love her. Love her, hate her, and break up, make up. So for some reason, I don't know, something must have happened where he backed out and he just didn't want to come. Um, and pretty much her main gripe with this man is he keep texting other women. He's not a one woman man, okay? And it's just something that she's not really willing to accept if they was going to move forward. So Andy asked Bronwyn about her comment saying that, so does Brittany like Jared for Jared, or does she like Jared because he's an Osmond? Like, do you like the Osmond name? Do you want to live on Osmond Lane? Look, Osmond name, live on Osmond Lane. Okay, yeah, it rhymes. But of course, Brittany says, I mean, yes and no, because of course, Osmond, a big name. You want to be connected to such things. Um, but Brownburn kind of took that back just a tad because now that she kind of knows Jared, he's pretty much a womanizer. He's kind of a jerk. And he's actually talked about all the ladies here, including Brittany. So for her, she's like, he ain't really that dude. So I don't even know why she be messing with him. But that's what she want to do. That's what she want to do. And with this, we do find out through the screenshots that Jared do be talking a little mess about Brittany as well as the others. But Brittany is the one that he's supposed to be dating and loving and actually sleeping with. So why would you be cussing her out in different text messages? Okay. So somewhere in along the lines, somebody must have said that Jared had a micro penis at, I think it was the Mob Wives party, Angie's house or something like that. One of them houses or one of them parties. And for some reason, I guess Jared got upset with that and he sent out this message to Brittany, which Brown read out loud, that clearly shows how much of an a-hole he is to her. And I mean, I'm not gonna read all the words verbatim, but it was something to the effect of, what's your problem, you little bitch? I got all this backlash on social media, and I could pick you apart. You're talking about my body parts and this and this and that. I could talk about yours. So, yeah, it wasn't really looking too good for Brittany on the aspects of Jared, which is probably why he didn't want to show up to the reunion because he knew that they was gonna bring it up. And since we're on Jared, Andy gonna ask Mary, so what was he DMing you? Because remember, she said he was in the DM. And she said, oh, no, it was a bunch of nothings. Just, you're beautiful. You're a woman of God. Just a little small talk. But she, didn't respond, not really feeling it. And I think it was Mary Heather who asked her, like, do you like him? I figured they just trying to start a little mess just to try to say, well, see, he likes Mary more than you like you, Brittany. But Brittany didn't take the bait. Mary didn't take the bait. She said, I mean, yeah, she likes him as a cool guy, but nah, she ain't got time for that. So Andy asked Brittany, does she think that Jared was using her to be on the show? And for Brittany, she was saying no. He actually was a big support for her. And Andy does mention that. Is it true that he's the one that got you on the show? And she was like, yeah, technically, he's the one that got me on the show. which makes sense because he's an Osborne. Like, who is Brittany? Is Brittany in love with Jared? For her, it was kind of a not sure answer because it was like yes and no at the same time. Like, but I guess at this point in a relationship, it's more of a she's trying to take it back to be more of a friendship versus a love ship, so to speak. Has Brittany ever met Donnie and Marie Osmond? She says yes, she has met Donnie before whenever the church had some kind of event or something like that, and he was there. Um, Whitney mentions here a little side note that her dad actually used to be the glam squad for the Donnie and Marie Osmond family, which was kind of cool. We all know he's a hairstylist. See, Whitney's dad, come back, come back. We actually thought you were a cool dude. You just had a little weird hair, but you were cool. Um, and pretty much when it comes to Jared and Brittany, she kind of just says that look, they never can be on the same page all the time, right? It's she wants to be exclusive, he wants to be polyamorous. Okay, he has a problem with talking and to other women. Okay, so Andy asked all the ladies about like has their opinions changed once they figured out that Brittany had some estranged issues with her daughters, and everybody was kind of quiet a little bit, just kind of shrugging around like it was I think it was Lisa who said it was a complicated situation. We know that Brittany has two daughters. They are of age, I believe. If not, maybe a couple might be in the teenager realm, but I think they're in the upper teens, if not adults. um she's in full communication with one, the other is still on the rocks. um and pretty much she was saying that she didn't like the judgment that the girls was giving her when it came to the daughters. So from here is kind of like a weird back and forth between Bronwyn and Brittany because for some reason Brittany blames Bronwyn for the 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 breakup between her daughters, which was very far fetched, honestly, because Andy he brings it up to say that, well, I thought in your interviews and stuff like before you even got to the show that you told producers that you and your daughters were on, rocky waters. And she says, yes, 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 but I guess somewhere in between that time and filming, Brahman must have talked to the daughters or talked to someone around the daughters. Either way, she didn't like the way that Bronwyn, I guess, handled the information. um, which is weird, right? Because in Bronwyn, all she said was, I think she was just repeating stuff that she might have heard. So it wasn't like it was necessarily coming for her or being malicious. It's right. Your life has been spoken on before the show aired with us together. So yes, some things might have transpired off the show, between you and your daughters and whatnot, but it was not Brown's fault. Okay, so that was a weird back and forth for some reason. So here, Andy asks Heather, why does she think that it was Andrew's responsibility to keep up with Brittany's uh, facade of being so perfect in the Mormon world, right? And pertaining to when she bought the wine to her house for the little prayer meeting, whatever they had going on, right? So Heather, and this happened in the after show. I didn't really watch any of the after shows to be honest. So, um, but I might when the Atlanta start. Okay, I can't wait till Atlanta start, y'all. But either way, pretty much Heather was just trying to say that okay, so when you're a Mormon, we all know the rules, right? There's no drinking, there's no premarital sex, there's no drugs, there's no this, there's no that, no eating pork, no whatever the rules is, right? So as a Mormon, you're supposed to do that. Angie bringing the bottle was only because you drank around her in our group setting. So it was just presumed or whatever, right? Um, which I guess, and right, no harm, no play. All she had to do, which she did explain it later, it was just they be blowing stuff out of proportion, right? Um, and here we kind of jump back, kind of go back and forth with all the other ladies because when it comes to the Mormon church, pretty much, of course, Heather knows all about it. Bronwyn knows all about it. Angie, I believe she's in it too, and Whitney. The other ones are all something else. I think Mary's Pentecostal, some Jewish going on over there on the other side. Okay, so with that, with those ladies on the Mormon, and not that to say they're on the Mormon side of things, but with that understanding on the Mormon side of things is where I guess they were lost. Is that where they lost Brittany at? For Christ's sake, because it's like pick a side, right? And I thought this was really hypocritical because, for one, Heather, you fought against all those rules, so whether she breaks them or not should even matter, right? Same with Bronwyn, Whitney, y'all broke hella rules to get kicked out of the church for Christ's sakes. Well, at least on Whitney's part, but so let's so why throw the daggers at her just because it was only one little bottle of wine? Her I think it was like her dad was there too. So come on now. I'm trying to save face when I'm in the church to do what I do here. Of course I can go outside and do like, because guess what? Most of us in the world do that when we go to regular church and mosque and all the other stuff y'all call your houses. So I didn't really like that part. Or should I say, I was on Brittany's side when it came to that, okay? So Andy asks Meredith, like, so when the slut shaming came out in the high body count hair, okay, the word slut never came out of Angie's mouth, right? She was just repeating what Brittany had said because that was the way she interpreted it, right? So Meredith, of course, blew up at the party and all this. You slut shame and you can go, you can get kicked out. And I think Angie was the one who ended up leaving because she thought that Angie was the one who said it technically, but she was just repeating the words that Brittany said. Even though that's kind of like she didn't mean to, she implied, okay? So that's why Brittany said the words. Either way, I guess Meredith, she knew that Brittany was upset about it. So that's kind of what triggered it all. 'Cause she was crying and things like that. So that's where she felt for her with being called the name, with Angie calling her that name, okay? Without getting the other side, without getting the whole story, because Meredith, it was her party, I believe. This was the bar mitzvah thing. So she was kind of doing her own thing with her family and friends while the other girls were just in this and that on the. And had their own fights and beefs on the side because that's what Whitney and Lisa went at it too. And the husbands, is that what? Yeah. So Meredith kind of missed a lot, but when she did jump in, she took it a little bit overboard and she kicked Angie out. Okay, so but Meredith does see her wrong in this, which is fine. Okay, we kind of move on a little bit. Going back and forth a little bit with Brittany again because she was the victim here, okay? But for some reason nobody's listening to her, which is fine. And I think that's her main problem with the group is I'm here, y'all not even paying no attention until I like cry or say something about Jared. I don't know, but I think it was Brown who tried to stick up for Angie just a little bit here and just try to say that, Brittany, you be saying stuff about everybody, right? And the reactions that we give from when you say stuff, okay, we take it and, we do give it back to you or don't or whatever, right? But when we flip it around and it's on you, now you the one that's crying and can't this and this and that. So it's more of a like dish it and can't take it kind of situation for Brittany. She might need to get a little thicker skin when it comes to that. So Brittany sleeping with Jared, was it a relief off her back that she finally confessed about it? Like, how does she feel about it now, or how do the ladies feel about it? Especially that she got all these support from the ladies. She enjoyed the support that she got. And Mary, like as Brittany was trying to say that she liked the support the ladies gave her, and she, realized after watching it back that she does have some internal, trauma issues when it comes to the church, that she needs to work out, obviously. And Mary pipes in to say, well, nah, you only brought that up because you got caught about recording. And she was like, no, 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 that was something different because, listen, we're not there just yet. But the whole point of her confessing that her and Jared was getting down was just because she lied about it in the first place. Which, because I think, yeah, they did ask her, was they sleeping together? And she said no. And everybody looking at her with the side eye because, girl, yes, you are. And this is where too Heather could be Heather's friend or wingman in this situation because y'all both single and y'all both is doing the same thing, except for Heather ain't bringing her dude to the TV. She keeping everything on the low, 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 low. Okay. So if Heather can get the confidence that Brittany has, that she can be out here with her Jared somewhere. Okay. That's so Heather, y'all mean I need to hook up a little bit and get you some more dates. Okay, so we're going to take our trip to Mexico real quick, just a little bit, right? So when we got to Mexico, we can remember Lisa assigned all the rooms and she put Bronwyn not with her in her villa. It was like 3 villas, right? And everybody was thinking, was this a revenge because Bronwyn made you fly coach on her trip, right? So Lisa goes on to explain that technically Bronwyn was supposed to be with her in her villa. So I believe that must leave would have kept Brittany out to go somewhere else with Angie and Meredith. But because Bronwyn got that horrible dog bite, which I was like, dang, like the dog tore her up, okay, tore her up, like her whole left side was just, or right side, bruised and scratched up. I couldn't believe it. So because of that is where she made the switch around because in each villa there's like a main room, which is the big one, and then the 2 other small ones. And instead of giving her one of the little small ones with her, why not just give her a big one of her own and she can be with Angie and Whitney on the side. So that's how the switcheroo came about. So it wasn't technically being malicious or revenge on her, as we all were thinking. Um, it was because of the dog bite, and it was just trying to help her out a little bit, make her more comfortable. Okay, so of course we do ask about that, like, ooh, are you okay? How did you handle it? Because we never got any details of it. We just saw it and kind of brushed it off. But she said, yeah, she's at the dog park, which, yes, it happened at the dog park, and the dude, it was a dog walker for a foster dog, which means I'm guessing it might not have been his dog for sure. But he didn't know that the dog had aggressions toward other animals because, as we all, well, if you have dogs or if you don't, not all dogs get along, okay? Some of them can't, it's not friendly. And that dog was not friendly. And she, of course, has like 3 boxers that she's trying to corral. And the dude left his dog unattended in the dog park to go talk on his phone inside his car. You're not supposed to leave your baby. If you take your baby off the leash, you need to be right there watching them, okay? Okay. Um, but she handled it by, I mean, doing what you gotta, what you can do. I know they were going through the scenarios. Yeah, I saw them. There is a video. You poke that bad boy in his booty, they gonna stop. That's all. That's all of it. By punching and stuff. No, 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 no. Poke him in the booty. Either way, she sued the owner, and she actually paid for the medical expenses of said dog to get his butt checked out because it turned out he was actually mental. Okay, he had an aggressive something to him, and instead of euthanizing him, because that's what I thought she was saying, like, I paid for to put that dang dog, she rehomed him to somewhere that is best for him in his environment. So good for her, you know. Okay, so we're on a Mexico trip. Remember the day of the Lisas that Heather had to sign? Everybody dressed up like Lisa. So Andy asked Whitney, like, why did she wear tags on her clothes? Does Lisa return clothes or whatever? Something to that nature question. And Whitney says, well, I heard from an employee at Nordstrom's that she returns clothes. And of course, Lisa, like, no, that's not true. I don't do none of that stuff. Like, I'm not even going to fight this because it's bull. So, why did Lisa storm out from the dinner in Mexico? Okay. Um, was it because of how she felt about Angie saying that she knew Bronwyn's life more than she knows Lisa's? Um, which a little bit more happened to that before Lisa got up and stormed off. It was more of uh that was more of Whitney, to be honest. It wasn't Angie. It was more of Whitney who got her all riled up in that moment. But I think it was because Angie didn't have her back, or what Whitney said was actually to Angie. Yeah, it's kind of what pushed Lisa over the edge a little bit. Because they was going that tit for tat where she was trying to say, well, I want her to feel how I feel stuff when she hit her with the Sean crap, right? So either way, Lisa was saying that, with the whole dinner, she was trying to set up a comfortable environment for Angie and Meredith to come together so that they can end up hashing their things out. So for me, I'm kind of like, where did this come from? But it did. Say, where did this come from? But it did. But either way, what she said about Bronwyn, like knowing her better than she know Lisa, for her it was like a dig to Lisa. Obviously because I thought Angie was my friend. Like I talked to her this and this and that, more than this, more than that, and all of a sudden for Bronwyn to just come up out the blue, and now you just got all this sympathy doo doo bop for her. Like where is this for me? Okay, because Angie, like it's. I think if you're giving more friendship attention to somebody else when you're supposed to be Lisa's friend, then Lisa might feel some type of way about that. So I think that's how she was just a little upset with Angie, because it's almost like a jealousy feeling, but she won't admit to the jealousy. Okay. And of course, Angie's going back with Lisa again because it's like, you ain't got to set nothing up with me and Meredith, because Meredith is a whole ass lawyer and I'm only a hairdresser. So come on now. If she wanted to eat me, the girl can spit me out. So, and she has it. That's what, and that is the other thing, Meredith. See, you're smart. She is a smart lady, right? But she's crazy. So the smart and crazy, it can't come out. It doesn't register. It doesn't read well, right? It doesn't come out smoothly as it should. But if she wasn't crazy and just the lawyer, I mean, yeah, she could take her to town. But Meredith can't. She can't do it. Okay, so somewhere in here, Bronwyn jumps in. So of course Lisa got to give her a little smoke because you jumped in, this and this and that, and we're playing the victim card here. Um, was it whether Lisa was playing the victim or not, or do she like to play the victim? How does Bronwyn feel about that? And it's and like she said, it's not that she plays the victim. It's not like it's it's like a double standard with Lisa, if that's what we can say, like a double standard. Oops, excuse me. Sorry, guys. Please. It's like we can talk about our stuff, right? But the moment you say something about that girl and her husband, her family, her Vita Tequila, it's all this and this throw the cup and this and you that. So why does she have to be so dramatic and overdone about everything when the rest of us be taking it in stride? So that's kind of how Bronwyn would say how she felt. And Lisa was saying, well, when have you ever stuck up for me? And Lisa, like, Bronwyn said, well, I have multiple times. The, the footage plays all the different times that she did stick up for you whenever Whitney and Angie were talking about you behind your back. She did say, I'm not even, she either said, I'm going to stay out of it, or that's not the Lisa that I know. So we asked Brittany, like, if you knew that Meredith was in there throwing up and stuff, why didn't you just go and ask her if she was okay? And Brittany and Meredith both said, well, I did go ask her if she was okay. Meredith said, I told her I was fine and everything. And then she goes back and then she goes and tells the ladies that I was doing this and this and this and that. And Brittany was like, well, no, I wasn't trying to. I thought you were throwing up. I thought you needed some help, had a little concern. So that's why I told the girls. I didn't try to insinuate that you had an eating disorder or none of that stuff. I didn't say that. And Meredith's piping up at her. Yes, I'm not going to let you spread lies about me because they're all lies. This and that. Lie, lie, liar, liar. Pants on fire. Okay. So the recording. We asked Angie, why did you have like different explanations as to why you were recording them or not recording them? So I think it was at least three or four excuses. You was trying to send a video or a picture to your daughter. You was trying to film the scenery of the outside. You was um, saving it for later. The conversation, I guess, recording the conversation to save for later for the ladies to talk with. And then you was trying to tell your daughter congratulations on the math test. Okay. So which one is it, child? She gonna say some all of them. It was all of the above. I was doing this and I was doing that, and I wasn't trying to record you. I really wasn't. Of course, they play all the beautiful bean footage, and we can see that the cameraman caught you, girl. So whether you want to say you didn't or you didn't, we all is on what we believe, okay? So who believes her excuses? We all got crickets because nobody believed that girl, okay? Obviously, it was just right. Just give up. Give up, Brittany. Andy points out that obviously the ladies are very freaked out because of the past situations that have happened with them. It caused a bit of paranoia within the group. Okay, and Brittany just saying how she felt it was abusive, that how they attacked her, and she's still recovering from it. They kind of brushed that over because not Meredith, because Mary looked at her and said, "Girl, we don't care, and we is done, and hopefully you done too." Okay. But everybody is recovered and still recovering. Um, Mary, why did it bother you that Angie ran after Brittany? How do you feel about Brittany? And Mary said, well, I don't know. I don't know how she feel about me. So, I don't think she's honest. I don't think she takes accountability. Her maturity level, is a little bit questionable. Um, and I just got enough in my life where I just don't need another wreck around me, okay? And Angie was going over there, so I thought she was being fake. So, do you think God brought Angie into your life? And Mary says, yeah, everything happens for a reason, and they're still cool today. Meredith, do you talk to Jen Shaw? Dun dun dun. That was a really random question, but I was kind of glad to hear it. Not that the girls have to forget about her. Like I feel like maybe some of them are trying to forget. Like she ain't coming back, girl. She be out next year. What's it, 2025? Hit that 2026 mark. She gonna be out by my birthday. I bet you that. My birth next year. I'm putting it out here now, and she gonna be straight filming. I don't know if they film in the summer or not, but she will straight start filming at 2026. So they gonna be shaking in their little boots, especially Heather, okay? Because Heather got the most to answer to when it comes to Jen Shaw. See, I'm sorry, my little rants that I go off on, that's what be making some of them be long sometimes. Either way, Meredith does talk to Jen Shaw, okay? The lady has called her. Um, And of course, Whitney's like, well, how y'all, you gonna let her talk to Jen? And y'all, and I was talking to Monica, so how is that any different? This and that. Of course, Mary is all, she's not friendly with Jen, so she's bringing up all her stuff like, yeah, and she's talking about you, she's talking about your family, she's done us all dirty, she was mean to us, and I can't believe that you would go and do that. And I'm on Meredith's side when it comes to this because, listen, the lady is in prison. She's serving her just due time that the judge has sentenced her to do. Who am I to put any more blame, judgment, critique on this lady? She's gone and suffered enough. Okay, clean slate is what I will give her, and that's where we will start. So if you guys don't want to be friends with her and all this stuff, that's fine. That's on you. I'm gonna give her a second chance. Okay, so I'm with Meredith on that. I'm gonna give her a second chance because I want her to come back on the show. Okay, she made the show when it first came on, guys. All of y'all was born as Boo. It was Jen T2 who was keeping it all together with her craziness. Because you need crazy, you need loopy, you need delusion. Those three people, and then everybody else can come following, like that. But anyway, like I said, I'm going off on a tangent. Sorry. So Angie and Meredith, in this, they started going back and forth, and it was starting to rehash old beef that they had already apologized for. So I'm glad that Andy put a kibosh to that, and we get to move on. Meredith will be a cold bitch. Oh, that was at the end of that conversation. So Heather, what was the whole point of having us read these text messages to each other? Like, what was the goal of that? And Heather just says, she was thinking immersion therapy, immersion therapy. I don't know why I couldn't say that word right. Immersion therapy. Stuff that they were saying behind each other's back. She just figured if we can just get it out now, then it will just help us to, just move on, But it was some mixed results because it kind of did work, right? When it came to Mary, she said, well, yeah, it did work for some of us, but she thinks that all of them, some of them don't take accountability, right? So pretty much they all ain't on the same page when it comes to that. When the activity kind of happened, like we all, oops, who is this? So pretty much Bronwyn and Angie, they did get kind of close this season. So with their two comments about each other, how did Bronwyn feel about it? And she said that like I said, it helped some people. It didn't. It helped her because now I see we got it out. Now we can move forward. And most of that stuff that the girls said was said when they was angry in the moment, right? So in the moment is how I felt, but in real life and all this stuff is I really don't. So, yeah. So they took that all in stride. Okay. So Whitney versus Lisa. Okay. That threesome comment that Whitney said. Okay. So that's kind of where Lisa blew up and everything at the dinner. We all know how that went. She didn't like it. So for Whitney's point of view, she just trying to say that, look, I done talked about everything I could about you, okay? But the worst thing I ever said was about you and your man, right? So when it comes to husbands and families, I think that's the harshest thing that I want to take back. So I want to burn this bridge with you, girl, and I just want to move on. Can we move on? And she getting loud and yelling and everything too, right? And Lisa, like, I mean, we can, but you keep bringing it up. So going back and forth. Let me talk. No, let me talk. It's hard to be vulnerable and talk to you because I got to protect myself. This is Lisa talking, y'all. six other brothers and sisters. Like she grew up, her mama didn't even care where she was at, like half the time. So she got this weird protection thing, defense mechanism that she uses towards everybody. And I guess that's why her and Lisa Whitney just can't get along, okay? Because she attacking her family, okay? Her and that's her family. If you coming after John, you coming after Henry, you coming after Jack, she got to come back. And if we ever watch Housewives of Atlanta, we already know that's like Candy. If you say anything about Todd or Riley, what Candy do? I'ma drag you, bitch. Okay? Or Mama Joyce. You cannot talk about Mama Joyce. Candy go blow up on your ass. So either way, I guess this is us understanding Lisa a little bit, her little self-absorbed ways. They go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And pretty much Meredith just says, is kind of the peacemaker here, right? Because at this point, Whitney and Lisa is sitting right next to each other, and they trying to get it out. They trying to say what they're trying to say, but they both talking at the same time. So Meredith decides to say, well, listen, she just wants you to just stop bringing it up. Like, if you say you're going to stop, then let's just stop and let's leave it here. So Whitney says, okay, we'll stop. We'll leave it here and we'll let it burn. Let it burn. Please, for Christ's sakes. That's all she want to do. So this is where Andy says they just need more time to hash this out, which is true. We ain't gonna figure everything out today. It's only a reunion. We just answer a couple questions and we get to go home, right? So they got time. Either way, they both say, I love you too, and we'll figure it out, okay? So thank you, and close that souvenir, or close that chapter just for now until next season. Okay, so this is where we're gonna end the show. Andy wants everybody to say like one nice thing about somebody. So Mary to Heather. Mary thinks Heather is powerful, smart. She got lots of love, but she just don't know who to give it to. Hopefully she can give it to Mary. Lisa says that Whitney works hard. She's a great mom. She is a committed friend when she, can be. And she wishes her well in her businesses. Meredith to Angie. She says she looks good in her outfit. What she did, I gave Angie and Bronwyn my best dress for tonight. Or for this reunion. She's a good mother. She secretly likes her, actually, which I know Mary would love because she's trying to get them together. Bronwyn says that Heather, she actually wants to be friends with Heather. She thinks she's pretty witty. She's gave her the best arguments that she's had in this season, which I can give it to you because when you argue with Lisa, I mean, it's good to argue with Lisa, but you might hit a weird wall, right? Heather, I can laugh when I argue with Heather, I think. So maybe that's what makes it good. And yeah, it keeps her on her toes, and she's a good mom as well. I think they all said they good moms. Heather to Bronwyn. She said that, she understands her trauma, understands her Mormon stuff, life connection. She's a great mom. Fabulous lady, and she's a good contribution to the group. Whitney to Lisa. Whitney says that Lisa has the best hair, which I've heard that on the blogs around town. Like, I like Lisa hair too. I ain't gonna lie, it's nice. Look, I like Lisa hair too. I ain't gonna lie, it's nice. I think she does have the best hair now that I look at the whole group. And then maybe Angie next. Or maybe Angie first, and she's a real hairstylist. I will trust that Angie's is the best. And then Lisa second. Either way, she's a perfectionist that she loves about her, and she goes the distance, and hopefully they can get back on track. Andy, he asked Mary to say something nice, I think about Meredith or something. But she said, no, Andy, I want you to say something nice about me. So Andy says, okay, I think you showed your heart. You're a good mother. You was open and understanding this time. And I like that you like to meet people where they are. And You're actually funny when you're not trying to be. So I actually can give Mary that one because she was funny this time around. And when she wasn't trying to be, and she was actually more open this time, which was good. And she did meet people where they was. She wasn't, but that's the preacher. Y'all gotta remember, Mary's a preacher, so she can't go. It's levels to where she handles her an argument, right? Because she's not just gonna yell at you and all that stuff. She gonna hit you with the Lord. Okay, you can't fight the Lord. Married to Andy, she says that he's smart, he's the star, he's intelligent, he's a good father, inspirational, he supports her, and he's the best. Andy, he's the one who brought us all here, so of course he is the best. And we do a toast over Miller High Life. Is that how you say it? It's a beer. Miller, the champagne of beers. It's a Miller High Life. Miller High Life. Okay. They have all mugs and they give cheers. And Brittany, poor Brittany, was in the back because they made her get up and leave. She was like, oh no, I want to be out there too. I want them to say nice things about me too. I want to cheers my beer. And they did. They just left her out on the side. So hopefully we'll get her back next season. She's cool with me. Either way, this was it. A long season, a great season, the best season. Salt Lake City. Can't wait. Bring them back, y'all. Bring them back. Peace.